It's just Bruce, he don't bite. Hello.
Hey folks, welcome back to my shop. Bruce, as you know, Jenner Custom Toys. Today we're doing a resin video. I told you I am not going to be doing a lot more resin videos because I feel like I've taught you all I know. But something did come up today and I thought, well, you know what, let's do a quick video and show you all how to do it. What happened was, one of my molds made out of, these are the good molds, not my reusable molding compound. One of my good molds, this made out of Umu 30, I think. I went to fill it up and I noticed it was in two pieces. And this happens a lot because you only get so many uses out of a mold. But because these are so expensive, I kind of wanted to jerry rig it and make it work. And if you don't know what jerry rig means, well, redneck engineering. So the mold itself, the figure in there is still okay. It's not, the last ones, I put out about 80 of these figures. So I don't want to get rid of this mold just yet if I can still use it. So I'm going to show you today how we are going to fix this, because if we just put it together now and we tape it like I normally do, all that resin is going to come right out the bottom and you're not going to get a figure. So let's get into it and I'm going to show you close up exactly what to do. Okay, hi, I'm up here. Here's our mold. Better look at it on the better camera. I got the HD camera so you can see what I'm doing. I still have problems moving stuff around, but hey, I'm old, get over it. So like I said, I mean, this mold is supposed to be together like this, and whenever I demold it, I'm supposed to be able to open it, like I like to say, like a book. Open it like that and remove your figure after it's casted. Well, been doing that so many times, you can see it actually split the mold. So here's what we're going to try. We're going to put it together like it's supposed to be. Get that bottom lined up so I don't see a crease. You don't, the crease is there. See, there it is. I want to get that together as perfect as I can. I'm going to set it on my mat like that. And we're just going to use simple rubber bands. And I want them to be as tight as they can be, especially on the bottom, to hold that together. So take the one rubber band, we're going to get down over the top and let it go as close to the bottom as I can get it. That's as close to the bottom as I can get it. I'll wind that down a little bit more. And as you can see now, it stands freely and you don't see the split, which I can show you the split. There's the split. But this gum bands, in Pennsylvania we call them gum bands. So if I say gum band once in a while, I mean rubber band. So as I was saying, you can see where the split is, but this rubber band is holding it in place nicely. Now that's just the first one. We're going to go ahead and put a bunch of these on there the same way, stack them the whole way up. And what I'm doing is I'm doubling this up. I'm taking the rubber band, twisting it once, twisting it twice around my thumb, letting it relax. Then I'm pulling it off my thumb like so, and I'm putting another one down a little closer to the bottom. Now you can do this as many times as you feel comfortable doing it. We're just going to go the whole way up. To save time, I've got another mold that I'm doing the same thing too. You can see I have already wrapped that in rubber bands, and that should hold my resin now, and that's what we're going to do next. We're going to find out. So let's pour this and see if it worked. So as you can see, I went ahead and finished wrapping the other one off camera with the gum bands, rubber bands, so it doesn't take so long. I'm going to lay down some cardboard underneath my work area because, well, first of all, this is a brand new mat that my wife bought me, and these things are expensive. So every time I do casting with resin, I try to have something underneath it. These little scraps of cardboard work fine. What we're using today is fast cast white resin. It takes about 10 minutes to dry, depending on the weather. I find it usually takes 15 to 20 minutes to dry if it's under 70 degrees. Right now in my shop, it is, it's about 70 degrees right here in the shop. It's about 50 outside. Middle of winter, we're actually having a nice warm spell, so to speak. So let me make myself a little bit bigger so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so anyway, I already have them portioned out 1 to 1, as you can see here. This is the 10-minute white resin, fast cast. Aluminite's the same thing. The only reason I get fast cast, and I've been sticking with it, is it's a little bit cheaper. But honestly, it works just the same to make the figurines and stuff that I'm working on. So, not plugging them. You make your own decision what you're going to use. You can use clear resin for this too. Today we're not using clear resin. Let me just pour the thing, because if you're watching this video this far in, you probably know how to know all about that. So there's my part A and my part B. Make sure it all comes out. One thing I like about using the fast cast is I don't really have to scrape out my glasses. That usually all is thin enough to come out. And then we're gonna mix. Mix, 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 mix. Okay, I mixed this for about 30 seconds. I fast forwarded through it so you don't have to sit here and watch. I've got 2 molds I'm going to pour, this should be enough. I have to kind of work quickly because this sets up quickly. So I'm going to fill this one. I'm pouring about what I think is about half the amount I need for now. Because these particular figures, they both match. They have feet. And if I don't pour this correctly and do what I'm going to show you, I will have air bubbles in the toes. And I'm sure other people have had that happen to them. But I still have to work quickly, so I will work quickly while I'm talking. I've got a marker here where I cut. If you can see, I cut right there. That tells me which way the figure's facing. Same with this one. Now, I want to get the air bubbles out of those toes, so I'm going to pound it on the table like this. But I'm over here, so I don't mess up my paper. Just pound it a couple times. And pound it right here, you can see. Face it forward till I think those toes have the resin in it. And I still have to work quickly because this isn't that clear stuff. You get 20 minutes to work. I only have about maybe 4 minutes before it starts setting up in hot weather. So I'm filling this up the rest of the way. There it is to the top. This guy here, I'm going to fill him up to the rest of the way. And I probably put a little too much in there. I'm still going to bounce it on the table a few times. You can hear the thumps. I go side to side, make little circles with it. I know it's not on camera, but I can't change it now. And I'll try like this. You can go like this, and I'm going side to side, front again, back again. I want to make sure resin gets everywhere in the mold. And I'm going to do that. I'm topping it off. This one, I got a lot of extra resin in this cup because I actually finished off the bottle I was using. Let me go get something to dump that in real quick. Always keep a mold around that you can put your extra resin in. I got this one here. We're going to put that there. And this is one I could just dump the resin and not worry about it. It's not going to fill it up, but it's a start. Because you can do these in layers. So this particular mold, wow, that's a lot of resin that I wasted, but that's okay. And now we wait for it to dry. And then we can demold it and see if my gum band, rubber band idea worked. Okay, real quick, because I just mixed up a little bit more resin. I mixed up a little itty bitty tiny bit of resin. Very hard to do. Don't know if it's going to work or not. But as I'm watching this dry, you see that hole right there? That means I didn't fill my mold good enough. That's why we had so much left over. And I was wondering about that, but I was in a hurry. So, like I said, I'll show you my mistakes so you can see how to fix that too. If this ever happens, mix up another batch of your resin. In this case, I made a very small amount, which sometimes doesn't come out because I don't want to waste this mold. And I'm just going to pour it right in there. And I'm going to hope that it fixes it. It should refill back up. It should be okay. I was wondering, maybe it drained out. Well, okay, it did drain out a little bit here on the side, if you can see. It came through that one. No, that's an overflow. Well, either way, I just put a little bit more resin in there. That's going to take a little longer to dry, but I just want to show you how to fix that when that happens. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I have a philosophy. It's either going to work or it's not going to work. So let's let this cure and I'll be right back. Well, it's been about 15 minutes since the first pour before we fix this, so I'm going to go ahead and open this guy. And, just take your rubber bands off. I try to save them in case I want to make more. Like if this doesn't turn out, I'm going to make another one. Just take them all off. And as you can see, this held together pretty good. I mean, even without the rubber bands, you don't see the seam. There was no leakage down here. No leakage on the side. No leakage on this side. I did overfill it. I do that all the time because you never know. The rest of it could seep down in as it's curing. Now it's the moment of truth. Let's open it up and see what we got. Let's set this guy aside. He's not going to be ready for a bit yet. Okay, pull it. It looks pretty good. Looks pretty good so far. As you can see, the feet for that bouncy thing we did. Oh, there's a little itty bitty tiny air bubble in the one toe. All right, let's get them the rest of the way out of the mold. Just gently separate it because I've made literally 80 figures out of this mold, and I'd like to keep using it if possible. If I can use this method, I would be able to keep using it. The reason I want to keep using it is when you make these molds out of Umu 30 or any other uh, mold maker. I always stumble over my words. Long story short, to make this cost 25 bucks, and you only get one shot at it. Yeah, I can't reuse this. I mean, I can't melt it down and make it into another mold. So I want to get as much out of this as I can. So the rubber band method obviously works. I've got a little bit of flashing here and there, and the hands come out nice, which is hard to do, but I got these hands pretty good. There doesn't seem to be any air bubbles. The face is good. The back is good. It's still got a lot of detail to it, so I want to keep using this mold because I don't want to spend another 25 bucks if I don't have to. If you can see on the toe there, this one toe right here has got a little bitty air hole in it. I can show you how to fix that. Not right now because it's not completely dry. So a little trimming and this guy's going to be just fine. Let's cut this thing off his head because I don't need it. And I'll remove that flashing later. But what I'm really curious about is this other mold. So that's how to fix one of these molds. Another way to do it is if you have the same kind of cup, like I use red Solo cups. I could put this mold back in a red Solo cup and put another layer, if there's room in the cup, I could put another layer of this silicone right on the bottom. It'll stick, making sure it's nice and clean. It'll stick, it'll dry, and then it'll be closed in the bottom. That's another way to do it. But I think the rubber band method works just fine. Now let's do this one and see if my refill fixed it. Okay, once again, moment of truth. It looks like there was no leakage around the sides. There was some overpour that came over the edge onto the gum bands, rubber bands that you saw whenever I did. But other than that, I mean, so far it looks like it's going to work fine. So let's gently take it apart and hope it's dry enough with the new stuff I put in. Okay. Failure. And that's because I wasn't paying attention. And I knew whenever I had all that leftover resin, it should have been in here. But as you can see, when I put the new stuff in, the hole was already blocked by the old stuff. So the resin never made it down to the arms and the torso. So I got a good set of legs. Let's pull those out. And that is not the rubber band's fault. That is my fault for hurrying up and rushing. So this is what I got out of that second one. You might say, oh, well, that's junk. Nah. I got a good set of legs here. If I want to make a custom, I'll just cut these legs off. And, oh, look, the toe, like I was saying, I didn't bang it good enough. This toe didn't fill up at all. So I always share my mistakes so you don't feel bad about yours. It's a common mistake. I know better, and if I wasn't hurrying up to make a video, it would have come out good. However, the original mission was to fix this mold, and we did. And I'm very happy with the results in the figure that we got out of the mold that we used the rubber bands on. So that's about all I can tell you about that. If you try it at home, go for it. Let me know how it works. And there's another way I have to fix molds, which I'll do another video about that some other time. Let's go to the outro. So that's all I have for you today. Like I said, it was a problem I ran into in my shop. I'm still doing the toys, Jenner Custom Toys. You can find me on eBay. Ran into that problem today, and I fixed it before, so I was hoping it would work, and it did. But hopefully that helps you. It'll give you a little more life out of your molds. Check out my other videos if you're into resin casting. If you've never seen any of my videos before, there's a whole playlist. If you go to my profile and click on my playlist, as Resin Casting 101. I'm trying to teach everything I know. I don't know everything. I don't claim to know everything. I started doing this during COVID. Oh yeah, this is what I was using. It's called Fast Cast. I found it on Amazon. Fast Cast white resin dries in 10 minutes. La 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 la. Just in case you wondered. Okay, yeah, I'm talking really fast today because I've had about 3 or 4 of these. Product placement. Yeah, like they're paying me. If they were paying me, I'll tell you what, this shop would be a lot nicer and I'd dress better too. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, I started doing this seriously when COVID hit. I was doing it before I had the eBay store set up, and I've always been doing this for the past 5 or 6 years. And it's a lot of fun. It's a really good hobby. And I'm here to help you guys, teach you what I learned. I try to do things the cheapest way possible. I get people on my channel commenting and downright insulting, say, well, that's wrong. You can't do it that way. Well, I'm here to show you, yes, you can. And it's the thing about doing stuff like this. There is no right or wrong way. All that matters is results. And Is this perfect? No, I'll trim it down. It'll be gorgeous when I'm done with it. But all that matters is results. If you think your way is better than mine, go right ahead and use it. If it works better for you, that's fine. There is no perfect way to do this, no matter what anybody says. Sure, you can go out and spend thousands of dollars on equipment. You can get a giant vacuum chamber or a big pressure pot and a compressor and all this fancy stuff, and it's going to work good. It will, but just think of all the money you're wasting when you don't have to. All right, thanks for tuning in, and I talked long enough. Any questions, put them in the comments. Give me a like. Likes really help me out. Give me a dislike. If you don't like it, give me a dislike, because you know what? That helps me too. Puts me in the algorithm. Not that I really care. I just do this for fun, but it is nice to see some people appreciate it. Those few of you out there that take the time to click the like button. And, subscribe and all that stuff. Okay, I'm done running my mouth. Have a good day. I got a lot of work to do, and I will see you next time.
It's just Bruce. He don't bite. Hello.